seen spoken word.
Oh my gosh.
Ricky this is his second spoken word he's done. God has put it on his heart, and God has kind of equipped him with being able to do spoken words. And so, for the first time, this is his new spoken word he's going to do. And it's about salvation. And I want you guys to take a listen. This is the first time he's done it for us or anybody. So, be kind and quiet and listen. Cool? And we're going to play some piano in the background.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've done this. Well, second time I guess, because I just did it about 30 minutes ago. So if I mess up, I'm just going to roll with it, all right? All right, here we go. Jesus descended from heaven. He became man and God. Now this is the truth that I'm telling, not some crazy facade. He came and he lived this perfect life here on earth. He was sinless from the day of his immaculate birth. See, after Jesus died, he sent us to go and do God's mission, but we continue to be steered off course by our own selfish ambition. He told us to go out and make disciples of all nations, but to most people, watching football is more important than talking about salvation. So most of us will go to church and will listen to our pastors talk, but few of us will stand up and decide to walk the walk. See, society tells us to live a life for fortune and for fame. They say, do this and bring glory to your own name. See, I was living this way, and I felt like I was a king, but then I felt the pain of divorce's evil sting. My parents, they called it quits, and they decided to split apart, and watching their separation literally crushed my heart. In an instant, I went from a king with a big house and fancy cars to feeling like a prisoner in jail behind bars. But you see, this suffering, it was for my own good, because it made me look to the old rugged cross-made world. So you might be caught up in the societal view. You might be confused, you're not sure what to do. Or maybe you started to give up on life, or you're contemplating suicide, and you're cutting every night because it takes away the pain you feel. You've suffered way too long. You're hearing Satan try and make a deal. But then you witness Christ, and you run to his embrace, and you're overwhelmed by his love, his mercy, and his never-ending grace. And he wraps you in his arms, and he holds on to you real tight. And he calls you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. You see, the life we were living, it was full of unpaid sin. And without Jesus as our Savior, we could never win. So God did the only thing that could be done. He gave up his perfectly blameless and righteous Son. So Jesus Christ was tortured, crucified, and killed, and the great prophecy, it was finally fulfilled. So now in God's eyes, we are finally clean and pure. Because of the cross, my salvation is eternally secure. But you see, the story, it doesn't end there. We are now called to preach the gospel here and everywhere. It's time for us to decide to join together and take a stand. We must let go of our control and grab on to the Father's hand. And we allow him to be the leader of our life. Because Jesus is the groom and we, the church, are his wife. We submit to him because he is the head of the church. And you will never find a greater love, no matter how hard you search. Sorry. And out of love, he gave himself up so that his bride could be holy and clean, because we were all full of sickness and he is the only vaccine. So now we have been healed. We are all new creations, and with our Savior leading the way, we have no limitations. So it's time for us to go and do as Jesus had commanded. Go out and help all the people who are stranded. Tell the lost and the broken about Jesus and the hope that is included. Because we all deserve death, but in our place, he was substituted. Everyone on earth needs They need to hear this beautiful love story. So it's time for us to give up our selfish, prideful lives and start living for His glory. See, the mission is really, really clear. He says, go, make disciples in every nation. And do not give up until the final fulfillment of Revelation. Because one day He will return and life will once again be complete. But we keep fighting until we stand before that judgment seat. So at that time, we will all receive to us what is due. So the question is, are you living for Him or are you living for you?